Dark web horror stories. Many individuals continue to be unsure about what the dark web is. Almost no one has not been exposed to at least one terrifying tale that takes place in the setting of the dark web. Observing the impact that creepy dark web stories have on individuals is an interesting experience. After all, the individuals who were responsible for the creation of Tor had quite different concepts in their heads. They desired to provide consumers with the opportunity to go about their online browsing activities in complete anonymity. On the other hand, being able to remain completely anonymous online might provide certain individuals the opportunity to reveal their most sinister side. You should read this if you have a craving for the horror genre. You are going to find next in video spooky stories from the dark web to be exceptionally interesting. A call that comes in the middle of the night on the phone. Among the games that are played on the dark web, the scavenger hunt is one of the most popular. To this day, Cicada 3301 continues to be one of the most intriguing mysteries that has not been solved. The concept is almost identical to the scavenging hunt game that you are familiar with and enjoy playing. Up until the point where you figure out where the ultimate reward is located, the only clues you have access to are those that direct you to the next location where you can find additional proof. On the dark web, on the other hand, it may have a more sinister character. The story of a person who participated in this game on the dark web is one of the disturbing stories that can be found on the dark web. This user was given an assignment that was rather unsettling, even though the majority of the hunting is done online through the Tor browser. They needed to go to a specific area in New York City and answer the public payphone at precisely 3 o'clock in the morning. It's possible that it would be wiser to avoid playing games on the dark web. This is only a possibility. Number 6. Hey, look, it's me. It is well known that the dark web is notorious for making private information about individuals publicly available. An individual who uses the dark web made a chance discovery of a personal information repository, and upon more investigation, he discovered that the repository contained information about his coworker. Moreover, to make matters even more difficult, the website displayed a symbolic price tag on the information that was being displayed. After conducting additional research on the database, the user discovered that it contained his personal information as well. Details such as social security numbers, phone numbers, email addresses, and physical locations were among the different details that were available for purchase on the dark web. Number 5. Hello there, we see you. This story will give you goosebumps, in contrast to the first two stories, which might not have done so. The story was reported by a user of Reddit who was attempting to determine what it was that gathered together all of the users of a single website. Not only did it take a significant amount of manual labor and endless lookups, but it was also before the days of Google. Following the conclusion of his investigation, he came across a server that included a directory of HTML files and photos. The photos were scans of documents that were quite similar to the ones that were contained in the HTML file, which held the records of mental health reports and observations. Once the user had finished their investigation, they went back to the parent directory and discovered a brand new HTML file that said, "Hello there." There was a time stamp on the file, which indicated that it was created at that precise moment. Immediately upon opening the file, the user was met with a brief notice that read, "We see you." An immediate termination of the connection to the server occurred not long after he made the discovery. Reddit is, without a doubt, a platform where everyone may publish their thoughts and opinions. In light of this, probably, some of the stories you will discover are either entirely or partially fake. Number 4. That's very astute of you, Mr. NotAnonymousAnymore. A great number of video files can be found on the dark web. There is no limit to what you can discover. When it comes to watching videos over Tor, one of the users of the dark web described his recent experience. The decision to write a comment came about as a result of his discovery of an intriguing video. His message contained his thoughts and views about the film in question. After some time had passed, the user went back to the video in question and immediately found out that his comment had been responded to. A response that went along the lines of, That is very astute of you. Mr. The user's last name was delivered, and it was quite creepy. Because of the unusual nature of his surname, the user experienced a sense of unease and decided to abstain from using the internet for the following few weeks. Number 3. Last statements of death row inmates. When you search the deep web, you can come across a lot of interesting websites. Having said that, there are times when you can come across some extremely peculiar ones. We are discussing some private and unsettling matters, such as the final words made by individuals before they passed away when they were still alive. This is not just any individual. Rather, it is the final remarks that convicts on death row in Texas made in the minutes leading up to the execution of their sentences. Number 2. Should you enter the dark web yourself? The deep web is a peculiar location to visit. On the other hand, taking into consideration the eerie mystery that surrounds it, it would be advisable to avoid its presence. Without a doubt, Tor can provide a multitude of advantages, and individuals utilize it to access secure onion websites. As an illustration, the New York Times introduced its dark edition in 2017, and other prominent media outlets joined in shortly thereafter. Users can access pertinent information from any location at any time thanks to this feature. On the other hand, if you want to increase your level of anonymity and privacy while using Tor, you should inform yourself about the alternatives. The Virtual Private Network, VPN, is a tool that is both powerful and seamless, and it adheres to many of the ideals that Tor teaches. Furthermore, it reroutes the traffic through safe servers while encrypting it. Tor, of course, transports data through several different nodes. In most cases, a virtual private network, VPN, routes traffic through a single server. You can get virtual private network, VPN, applications that reroute traffic across various sites. Number 1. The Doctor of the Plague. My return from school was the moment when everything started to happen. My social life is non-existent, and I do not have any friends either. I am an introvert. When I got back, I immediately began watching anime on my computer, as is my customary practice. I decided to give something new a shot when I found myself getting bored of watching. It was something that every one of my classmates was talking about, so I decided to give it a shot. After giving it a shot, I discovered that I was able to access the black web in some way. I began watching a variety of videos that were available on the dark web. I am at a loss for words to describe what the plague doctor did to me, yet I am fortunate to have survived in the first place. Final thoughts. Everywhere on the internet, people are familiar with these terrifying and disturbing dark web stories. On the other hand, it is somewhat impossible to speculate about what humans could discover in this strange area. It is possible that it is not harmful, but it might also be as shocking as discovering that your personal information is being sold. Do you like it? Kindly give your valuable response in our comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more interesting and informative videos.